after this week, hopefully this week, Miss Edwina is gonna have the YouTube channel that I'm recording the classes on. And then you'll be able to watch them, you know, after today, okay? Okay, so what we're gonna do to start out is everybody made these collages last week, right? So here, I'm gonna pin myself so that I'm the biggest. Okay, so I made this one. You guys remember I made this one, and we practiced cutting random pieces of paper, and Corey made this one, right? So what I want to do today is I want to put paint over top of these collages. But before we do that, we're going to do another little art exercise, which is called Asemic Writing. Has anybody heard of Asemic Writing before?
No.
Okay, so Asemic Writing is an art writing. So I did this one. I do this all the time. This is a big, I'm talking big, like capital B-I-G part of my artwork. And this is one, and then this is one. So the difference between these are all on the newsprint pad, right? And I did this one. So I wanted to focus on the Asemic writing because basically the definition of Asemic writing is like doodling or illegible writing. So it's writing that to the artist has a voice and a meaning and purpose, but to the viewer, it is not a deliverable content. Does that make sense? So a lot of times artists might even make up their own symbols for words or feelings so that they can put a lot of content into the art without everybody knowing or their true self, right? So they can pour their emotions into the art without maybe everybody being able to read it like a dictionary, right? Because sometimes people get sensitive about disclosing a lot of personal information. Okay, so one of the things that I did, and this is actually, I think looks really beautiful, but basically, does anybody know what this says?
It says family.
Yeah, good job, Edwina.
Yeah.
It says family. It says, actually, this says pets, right?
Okay.
And this says, does anyone know what this says?
Turn it around. Can't see. Love.
Yeah, so this says family, pets, and love. So our exercise today is I want everybody to kind of practice and learn Asemic writing and maybe try it out. My style of drawing is super, I call myself loopy, and I like to joke with myself because I'm kind of a loopy personality, and part of my, you know, my personality is a little bit loopy. So by loopy means I have a lot of like curves in my handwriting, right? So technically, like right now, I'm just doodling, right? But to me, like my doodles and my writing are very similar. So what I wanted everyone to think about is the question of home. And my answer to what home means to me was very simple: the people in my house. And of course, I included my animals as people, because as far as I'm concerned, my animals are members of my family and they're like legit parts of my household, right? So what I wrote here was family, pets, love, and then I wrote down all the names of the people and animals in my house. Okay, so that could be a very simple place to start. Like, what does home represent to you? Who is in your house? What are the names of the people that come and go from your home and that you would include as part of your family, right? So here's another one that I did. And it says the same thing. This one doesn't have names on it though. This one has things about my house that I love. So I wrote love, I wrote nourishment, I wrote my bed, my comfy bed, my good food, right? My nutrition, I wrote love happens at my house. And I wrote comfy, I wrote sleepy, sleep, bed, comfy food, good food, right? So these are all things that I think of when I think of my house. And that yet, even though these words are fairly simple, I think that the artistic quality of the Asemic writing is very beautiful. Okay.
How do you spell how did you spell Asemic?
Asemic, I put it in the chat. It's A-S-E-M-I-C. And I can do a quick screen share to show everybody. So there is an entire like art movement in art based on Asemic writing or what's called mark making. And they kind of go together, but here is an example of what that looks like. So basically it's unreadable, right, text or font. So if you happen to write the words closer together, or like this is a good example, right? It's a beautiful sort of mark making technique, and it could have a ton of meaning to you, but then you're not really telling the world the full truth. You're giving them sort of a glimpse of something very personal. I use it for my paintings, and a lot of times I'll go into my studio, I'll be in a really bad mood, or I'll be super upset, or even upset by the news or the politics. And I can literally write it all out, how I really feel, without ever anybody knowing. It's kind of like my secret little language, and it can be very beautiful. So I'm gonna go back to my screen, and here, I'll go back to my regular screen, and I'm gonna do it again so you can see me. I'm gonna write, what home means to me. And again, I'm using, and I didn't buy everybody markers, but I'm using a paint marker. So if you guys, I want you to do this. So if you have any type of markers or Sharpies, Crayola markers, Sharpies, you can try the Asemic writing in any, and I want you to do it too, Naraya. You can try it with any, I want you to come sit and do this. You can just put that down, you can do it later. You can try any pen, and also think about your color palette. I like Asemic writing in black, but you could do it in light gray. You want to get a paint marker? So you can get a paint marker or a crayon. You could use a crayon, a pencil. I did it in a couple different things. Here I did it with an oil pastel, right? And I basically just was scribbling. I started lists of all my pets and my children, right? So that's what I think of when I think of home, is I think of all the people that use my house and come and go. So who else could you put on your list? You could put friends, you could put other family members. You could literally just say like mother, daughter, son, aunt, uncle, grandparent, grandmother, grandfather. You can use any language, but the idea is to sort of transcend the literacy of the word and get to sort of an artistic place. So like, let's say I did, Mariah, can you grab me another? Oh, let's say I did grandmother, right? So the idea is to just kind of let your hand get really loose. That says grandmother, this says grandfather, kind of go make it purposely illegible. This says son, daughter, right? This says husband, right? Husband, wife, right? Children, right? Grandchildren, right? And you can also, there's so many ways to make this interesting, right? You could go over and over the same space. You can repeat the words, right? You can use a lot of different language. If you only had sons, you could do son, son, son. Maybe you had 5 sons. You could do son, 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 right? And then the idea is that it turns out in a beautiful scribble that we're going to actually use as one of our collage elements, okay? So, and if whatever your handwriting is, if you were a doctor, maybe you never had good handwriting. As far as I'm concerned, their writing is Asemic all the time, right? But if you're an artist, right, you can, and then look what happens is that this gives you, whatever these words are, they give you all of these interesting shapes that you could continue to draw into or make more into art than words, right?
You can change colors. Do you have to stay with the
You can
same
do
color?
this, yes, you can do this writing exercise in any tool. I want you to do it too. Naraya, come here. So Naraya is going to do it. Let's see what hers is going to look like. And then I want everyone to show. So you're going to write what, maybe get a pen that you like. I have paper. I want you to use this newsprint. I want everyone to do this on the newsprint pad that I gave you too. Come sit here. So it's my favorite type of paper. So I want you to write illegibly, right? In a very sloppy font that's yours. Illegibly meaning so you can't read it. And I want you to write like what home represents to you. So what do you think about when you think about home? Right? So what do you think about when you think about home? Maybe you think about cleaning. Maybe you think about chores. Maybe you think about bills. You know, maybe you think about financial responsibility. You know, these are all things that you could be thinking about when you're thinking about home. Okay. So whatever it is, let it out. It's just a stream of consciousness and you're just expressing yourself.
Just make
Well,
on one
you want to
page.
make it so if you're doing it and you can still read it, you've got to loosen your hand up, maybe go larger, and you can do other things to it, like maybe go over it and over it. So layer it, right? We're talking a lot about layers. So we're talking a lot about layers. And if you can still read it, keep going, right? Push it to the point that you can no longer read it, right? And what is that going to take? Is it more writing? So I feel like this one, I could kind of read it, but then I went over it again, and now I can't read it because the names that I wrote and the list of the people that lived in my house, I wrote over top of them, right? Okay. And also, maybe you're just afraid to let go and you're just not quite loose enough.
I write with my right hand when I want to get looser. I'm left-handed.
Yeah, maybe try writing with your other hand, right? And just so it's much more about gesture than about being specific, right? I want you to try to let go, try to be loose, right? So I already did like 6 pages, right? I did 1, right? I did 2, I did 3. Now you can kind of see 4, and I did 5. Naraya's working on one in gold, which looks nice. And then maybe, yeah, I love it. And then maybe try some, that looks beautiful. Now, what are your work? Here's Naraya's. Let's try another one. Oh, Naraya did it in gold, which is really beautiful, right? She did it in gold. And so this, whatever color you did yours with, this is a great collage material, right? And I want to see these pieces in your future collages or in another layer on the collage we already did. You just pick those metallic pens up. What did you actually write here? Your family's names? All right, so these are all the family names of Naraya's family, but they're top secret because she wrote them in Asemic language, so we can't read them, right? Okay. So does anybody have one that they'd like to share? And how do you guys feel about this? Do you feel like you're like kind of, it's like being accountable, but also being mysterious? I always like that. Oh, that's beautiful. Wait, let me pin you, Sue Ann. That's beautiful. Hold on. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so what does yours say?
My animals, all my
Your
animals.
animals. Those are all your animals' names?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Beautiful. And what are your animals' names?
Ruby Rose, Sugar Bear, Smokey, Buffalo, White Boy, and I think that's it.
Oh, are they all cats?
No, one's a rat.
One's a rat. Which one's
Mine's
the
a pet
rat?
rat.
Is White Boy the rat?
White Boy's the rat.
White Boy's the rat. That's great. White Boy the rat. And now you should write a children's story called White Boy the Rat. Oh my God, I love it. Does anybody else want to share? Diane, do you want to share? Or Edwina? Let me see. I'm going to pin somebody else. Hold on, I'm going to look at yours. Oh, beautiful. What does yours say?
I have my Bill, Michelle, my son, Charlie. I have my Wolfie, which was my husky that I had, a dog.
Nice.
I have food, love,
Yeah.
music.
Oh, good music. I forgot about music. That's right. We have a lot of music in our house too.
Lots of music and
Music.
home and warmth.
Warmth. Yep. I definitely had to put my bed. I have like a serious, like, I like love my bed. And I love the food I eat at my house too. My husband's, I love the food we make there too. Does anybody else want to share? Edwina? All right, hang on. I'm going to put Edwina's on there.
I can't tell what it is though.
That's great. I love that. That makes it even better. It's top secret. It's top secret. It's like you're writing the code to save the universe or something.
Cool.
I have home, my name,
Uh-huh.
that's home.
Awesome.
I have old, I have pet,
Yeah.
poodles,
Yeah.
that's the name of cat nickname. Pet.
Yeah. I love
and
it.
I'm working on another one.
That looks awesome. So I love it. I love your style. I love that. And so to me, because I'm such an artist, all I see is like style. Like I definitely see a loopy sort of flowy style. Like even with Naraya's, like I see hers is much more like tight and sort of, here, I'm gonna show you hers again. Like hers is like sort of, it's like angled and it's tight and it's like more like a static line. Right, so I wouldn't call her style loopy. I would call hers more vertical, like almost like it reminds me of what's a card? What's a card when they do your heart? An ecogram, right? Like some type of,
Yeah.
right. So, but these types of lines and forms, we have so many mental associations to them from our life experience, right? From like going to the doctor or from like going to the museum and seeing like ancient Roman writing or Egyptian hieroglyphs, right? We've had this sort of like universal knowledge about language. So it's more important to us that we recognize that it's saying something, I think, than it is that we know what it says. Does that make sense? So it's sort of like, it's like a release to not feel burdened by knowing specifically what it says. You just know that the artist is trying to express something that's important to them, right? So, and I love that relationship about being able to be mysterious. Does anybody else want to share their Asemic writings? Wait, wait, I'm gonna go down the line. I think that's, oh, there you go. Is that Lynette? Hi, Lynette. How you doing, sweetie? All right, go ahead, put it up there. Let me see. Beautiful. Oh, I see granddaughter, right? Day. Oh, that's beautiful. I love your handwriting too. Those are gorgeous. And you did that in blue? Oh, that's excellent. Okay, good job. I love it. Beautiful. All right, and last but not least, I think we have Miss Betty down here. Is that everybody? You want to share yours, Miss Betty? How are you? Did you do one? Not sure? Okay. All right, I'm not sure if Miss Betty did one. All right, so what we're gonna do now, I hope that that was fun for everybody. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually go back to our, we're gonna do one more thing today, and we're gonna use our brayer. So that was a little exercise. Now these papers, right? I want you to make sure that you save them, and I hope that everybody did them on their newsprint pad that I gave you, right? I wanted everybody to use this XL newsprint pad that I sent you in your box. One of the reasons is because newsprint paper is my favorite collage paper because of the lightness of the paper. It's easy to glue and it's super fun to paint, right? It's also very inexpensive. So sometimes having an inexpensive art supply just allows you a ton of freedom to just go in and rip off like 10 Asemic writing. Like say you had a really bad day or a fight with your husband or a fight with your brother, you could just rip out a pad and write all about it, right? So that it's unreadable, right? Which makes it, I think, super fun to kind of deliver these secret messages. Okay, so let's put these away or to the side for a second. Wait, I'm gonna show, Naraya's having a ton of fun over here. She's really getting into it. So layering and going over and like literally writing in the same spot is also a super technique. Good job, love it. Okay, keep going with that if you want. but you can also help me, Naraya. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use the brayer, and we're actually gonna do something kind of maybe unnormal or something that you wouldn't think of. But we're gonna use paint and the brayer, and we're actually gonna we're gonna roll some paint over these collages. So I want to introduce this tool. This is the brayer. Everybody's got their brayer out, and I'm gonna write this in the messages. This is the brayer. I love the brayer. It's a super way to go over a collage with paint because it's a roller, right? So what happens with the roller is it's not as affected, or it's more affected, I don't know, by the collage. So pick a color from your color box of paint. I picked a light color, right? Because I like to paint from light to dark. It's a very important part of my process. So I don't like to put the dark colors on in the first couple layers. But if you do, that's fine. It's fine with me. I'm not gonna be upset or anything. I'm just saying, I like to go from light. Okay, so one of the things too that I use a lot in my studio is I use plates. These plates can be, these are styrofoam plates. You can use plates. You could use trays. We use a lot of stuff like this in school. We recycle like meat packs, right? Like here's styrofoam, right? So this is something I could put paint in it. And honestly, a lot of times at the end of my day, I'm so tired from teaching all day that I don't even clean them, right? I don't even wash them. I just let the paint dry in them, and then I put more paint on top. It doesn't really bother me. Sometimes I might feel inclined to wash them all, but most of the time I just use the styrofoam, and then I just let the paint dry and reuse them. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of paint. If you want to do a gradient or mix the paints, you can add two colors together. So here I have like a really nice, like pale pink, and I might put another, I gave you guys a ton of paints, like all of these colors I think look really good together. I might do like a beige. I'm gonna do a yellow. I'm gonna try yellow. I like yellow.
Yellow for the sun, yes.
Do you mix it together or you make different spots?
I just put different spots on the same plate, and then what's gonna happen is they're gonna mix together. So what I think is super fun. Naraya, do you want to pick a color? Naraya's gonna pick a color too. Paints are in the bucket.
All right.
Yep. Naraya's gonna pick a color too. So we're gonna go ahead, and the brayer is super cool. So what happens, sometimes I like just the randomness of art making just to sort of happen. So I did beige and yellow, right, with a little bit of peach, and I'm gonna end up kind of blending all three colors together. I'm gonna put it on the brayer, and I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I'm just gonna go ahead and roll it right on my collage, right? What's also kind of nice about the brayer is that it goes on thick like the first roll, and then the second and third roll get a lot lighter, right? So here it is on my collage, okay? I think it's a wonderful way to sort of start to neutralize the background and make it like one color, because this is gonna be a background layer, right? Also, if I'm starting to think about this as maybe, I don't know if it's gonna be a landscape and there's gonna actually end up being a house on here or some type of a figure, I can sort of start to separate the light or bottom and the top. But I loved how I did the yellow, and then I sort of added the pink, and I think that it just made the collage so much better. And that's all we're gonna do to this today. We're not gonna do anything else to it, to the collage. We're gonna actually set this aside, and we're gonna go ahead to the next collage, which is right here. And we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing with the brayer. So again, I'm mixing the colors on the plates with the brayer, and I'm gonna roll it over the collage, okay? Mariah's being my assistant here and she's so into the writing, she hasn't stopped writing. So again, you don't have to put paint, okay, you don't have to put paint everywhere on the canvas. You can paint however you sort of want, right? At the top of the bottom, right? You can add it in stripes. It's just so much fun. I think the brayer on the collage, and I really love, I love this one with the color and the black actually, I think really looks nice with the color. Okay, so those are my two collages that I have. And now I roll them with the brayer. So I still have paint, right, in my plate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and go, and you can do this too, Naraya. I'm gonna go ahead to the Asemic Writing, all of those pieces of newsprint that I had, and I'm just gonna use up the paint, and I'm just gonna like roll the brayer with the paint on some of these, you know, to kind of continue this like painterly abstraction. And what's going to happen is when these dry, I'm going to be able to use these, you know, painted papers with my secret writing on them and in new collages, right? So I'm making collage material. I can change the color of the plate paint, right, by adding another color. Do you want to add another color? Or you want to go ahead? You could. I have more brayers. Let me grab Naraya a brayer for a second, and you guys just keep on brayering. But this could go on for a long time, right? Now, if you are a baker, if you're a baker, is anybody out there a baker? What does this remind you of? A rolling pin, right? So it speaks a lot to like baking or different types of sort of domestic practices, right? Oh, look at the red, looks nice in there. Good choice, Naraya. Look, Naraya picked the red, so that's adding like a nice splash of color here over the Asemic Writing, right? And actually, I like the red so much, I'm gonna go back to my collage. So this is some of the things that I love about the brayer is look at the textures that it gives you. It just is nothing, there's nothing like it. I just think that it's so tactile and interesting. I also kind of like it because I can't really control it. So I think it's fun because I just kind of do it and I don't really know what's gonna happen. Does that make sense? Like I'm sort of like tossing it up into the wind, which I think we have to have that type of whimsy and flexibility in life because we never know what's gonna happen to us, right? We never know what's gonna come through that front door that we're gonna have to deal with at home. We never know what mood someone's gonna be in. You know, we never know if someone's gonna get sick, right? Or lose their job, right? So these are sort of some of the basic feelings that we all, you know, have to deal with, these uncertainties. So I kind of like it in the art too, where I don't have to feel like I'm totally in control, right? I'm kind of like letting loose a little bit and playing, right? So, and again, I love the idea of sort of like having intention, but then also, you know, completely letting go, so to speak, right? Okay, so I have a couple more pieces of newsprint. If you wanted to actually even work on the newsprint without any letters on it, that's totally fine. And if you were working in a light colored palette, if you want to go ahead and switch to a darker palette, you can do that. I tend to like to stay in the warmer, lighter colors for this type of work. Do you have a pink? I'm gonna make a pink. Oh, thanks. And you can just continue dropping drops onto this and using the brayer. The nice thing too about the craft paint and the newsprint is that they dry quickly. So, and you know, you can keep laying, hopefully you have a lot of room. Like Naraya and I are lucky because we are here and we have tons of tables. We have lots of room, right? We can keep spreading out. And look, we have 2 plates too, so we can share. All right. So I like the paper not on the pad though. Definitely like it flat.
On my way.
Okay. Oh, this one looks kind of fun. I definitely like the pink and the black. Looks kind of cool. Right?
Yeah.
Let's see, and I can put a darker color on here. Let me just try a darker color. I'm gonna try a darker color. What color? Oh, I could actually try like black. Let's see. I'm gonna try a little black on here. Actually, and I don't even know if this is black, but it might be like, oh, this is actually a really pretty color. It's kind of like a mauvey, like purple violet. It's almost like a violet color. You gonna say hi, Kai? Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. That's a darker palette, right? That's a much darker palette. All right. So I think that Ryan and I finished all of our Asemic Writing samples, but we had some really pretty colors happen here. Careful where you're walking. And I'm going to try a couple other things. Now, just to give you sort of a heads up, one of the fun things about brayering that we're going to kind of work on next week, and we're going to talk about next week when we use the jelly plate, is also maybe some things from around the house that make texture. So, or some other things that could go into your collages. And this is really funny, don't laugh at me, but I thought it might be cool to use some coffee filters, right? Because I've been a huge coffee drinker my whole life. So what happens if you write on a coffee filter, right? What if you tear one up? What if you draw on it, right? And then what if you brayer it too? Or what if you just even, just
Art.
and like mark
Yeah.
making.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
I was told by an art teacher that putting acrylic down the drain will clog it up as it turns into plastic.
Wait, hold on a
When it
second.
gets
Hold on a second. I didn't hear you. Wait, I'm gonna pin you. I didn't hear your question. Hold on. Is that Sue Ann?
Yes.
All right, wait,
I
hold on.
was told,
Go ahead, ask your question.
I was told they can't put acrylic, like to wash off things in the sink because the water will go into the drain and turns into plastic.
Oh, really? I've never heard that. I don't know where you heard that.
Well, I think that's water soluble. So, but you know what I do when I use acrylics? I use old paper plates. I just throw it in the trash.
You know what? I just use the styrofoam and I never wash it or throw it away.
Talking about this thing.
The only thing
Right.
Literature, leather.
I wash the brayer, you guys, with soap and water, but I think if you dilute it enough, I don't think you're gonna have a problem. Ooh, those are.
Yeah, it's water soluble. It shouldn't
Yeah.
clog.
And the
Okay.
acrylic is a very, I mean, this craft paint is acrylic, but it's not super dense. And I think because it's lightweight too, it dissolves very easily. That's why I love it. And again, it's not super expensive paint. Oh, I love it.
I was
All right,
doing
yeah.
drawing with my crayon sticks. I just went over.
You guys
it.
like the brayer? How do you guys like painting with the brayer?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's cool. I like it. We did it with the ink in the other art class we did. It was really fun.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do the walnut ink soon. We're gonna do the walnut ink next. We're gonna do the jelly plate next week, and then we're also gonna do the walnut ink, which is also really fun. But look at these. Wait, Sue Ann, did I answer your question okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, of course. So I want to replace the pin, but look at these cute little pieces of the coffee filter, right? And this is what I was talking about in the first weeks of class when I said, maybe you want to use some things that you're finding around the house, right? That you want to contribute into your artwork that represent home, right? So I told you already, like, I love coffee. Coffee filters are always around my house. And so I'm going to use them in my collages because they represent sort of things that I find around my home. Okay. Other things, and this sounds really silly, but these paper towels, and there's probably about 10 brands of paper towels out there in the world. Every paper towel brand has a different pattern on it. This brand, I can't remember what it is, but it has these nice little circles on it. Paper towels, even toilet paper. Some of these household items can be very, very effective in a collage, and they can represent sort of that everydayness and symbolize your home or home environment, right? So it's like a combo. Do you guys need something from me? I'm teaching a class right now. What's going on?
Oh, can I get a plate?
Yeah, they're on the side of the dishwasher right there. It's okay. I didn't know what you guys needed. Okay, so like here's the paper towel demo, right? So here's my Asemic writing on a paper towel. Here's a plate right there. I don't even know it. And look, I could just write like, here's my dog's name. Like, would you ever guess that that said Luna? I mean, right? You don't even know. But let's try the paper towel with the brayer because I think that could be really exciting. Oh, and Naraya, look what Naraya made. Go ahead, show you, Naraya, show the ladies what you made. Look, she took the coffee filter and she really painted it, right?
Yeah,
So she really painted it. Now, right now, this is not usable for the collage because it's so wet, but when it dries, it'd be great. And then she can tear it or cut it, right? And she kind of just, did you just pour it into the coffee filter and rubbed it around? Or you use the brayer? Okay, yeah. That's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna try the brayer on the paper towel. And you know what I noticed today that I've been in like a warm tone. That's probably just because I'm so sick of the cold. But it's interesting to see how the brayer, can I use your brayer? It's interesting to see how the brayer reacts to the different materials, right? And I would seriously, I mean, no joke, if I could get down the hall and get some toilet paper, I would probably try some toilet paper. Or if you have newspaper at home that you'd like to try to brayer, that would be nice. Even little notes. Also, I don't know about you guys, but I'm about to get ready to do my taxes. And I have like all these funny little boxes. Like I'm not digitized on my taxes. I have no QuickBooks in my life. I'm still old school. So I have little bags all over my house and my desk of receipts and things that I have to keep track of so that I can get money back on my taxes, right? So maybe some shopping receipts, brown bags, right? Look how beautiful this one is. That took me like 2 seconds. It's gorgeous. And this is a paper towel, right? And the paper towel, even the back side of it could be nice. Maybe we'll talk about doing some tea staining too, which is also a really nice way to kind of take that element of home or home life and incorporate it into your collage papers. All right, I'm gonna try to warm myself up and I'm gonna do something in blue-green just for my last little demo here. So I've got my plates. Naraya's using her foam brush too. That's interesting. And again, I'm going to go through the same little 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take this. This is actually a paint marker. So I didn't buy these for you, but I probably should have because I really do love paint markers. But the paint marker is basically acrylic paint in a tube. And I got them for the kids at school because I thought they might enjoy, you know, drawing with the paint rather than feeling like they always had to use a paintbrush, right? So it comes with a tip and it's basically just a tube filled with paints. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this one. It's gonna be husband and wife, right? Because to me, my house represents my husband and I trying to have a family and own a house and be grown-ups, pay our bills, right? Husband and wife, right? Duncan and Leah. So this is like a little like, we're not kids anymore. Hi, this is Duncan. All right, so this is my husband and wife one, right? Husband and wife, right? Living together. Kind of looks like, and honestly, like it's funny, but I kind of see like a face or a figure. I kind of feel like I see like, do you see a figure in here? Like, don't you kind of see like a woman's body right here?
kissing.
Like I feel like, yeah, we're kissing. We're trying to get, yeah, we're making it. All right, so I'm gonna do some blue for true love. I'll do some blue. Oh, and I love the way look at how the paper towel is acting. So this paper towel is giving me all these perforated little white lines that came with the paper towel. Like, what an awesome textural, like interesting material, right?
I tried it too.
I love the brayer on the paper towel. It's beautiful. Naraya's doing like some pattern, like some tally marks, which is nice. All right, I'm gonna add this lighter color. All right, and I think that's all I wanted to teach everybody today. Does anybody have any questions? And I'd love to see some people's work. I hope everybody loved the brayer and the Asemic writing. I think that was pretty fun. I loved it. And look,
Yeah.
I could show you. Wait, I'm gonna show you. Look how much work we made. You guys see? Look at all the work we made. Right?
Wow.
I know. I made a lot of work, and Naraya made some too. Naraya she made that beautiful coffee filter. Oh wait, Naraya, oh, she made this one too. Did you do another one of your writing? Okay. All right. And she's making this other really beautiful paper towel art. Right, which she can
On the wood
definitely
pillow.
tear up and use in her collages at another time. You wanna go? Yeah. All right, are you gonna leave? Say goodbye. Naraya's gonna leave. She's gonna go get ready to go home from school. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
I'm in the middle of something until 3:30. So can you come back later? What? Yeah.
Put it in a bin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not.
It's not in there? Oh, I don't know what it is. Okay, sorry. Does anybody want to share one or have anything that they'd like to? Let's see some work. What was your favorite color? I feel
That
like,
was,
oh, that one's beautiful. Okay, wait, Miss Diane's gonna go first. Hold on.
Ooh, that's really nice.
I like the yellow.
Oh, I
like
love
the yellow.
that. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my God, I love it. I love that, those splashes. That's why I like the brayer so much, is it makes the colors so like breezy. It always makes me feel like breezy, like everything's nice and soft and pretty. Mariah, would you mind washing these for me? Would you mind washing these for me? Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, anybody else want to share? Amina, oh, here you go, Miss Lynette. Hang on, Miss Lynette's gonna share. Oh, pretty. Wow.
I
Beautiful.
love
That's a
red.
flower. Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
That is gorgeous. Really nice. Oh, beautiful. I'm telling you, these craft paint colors are so pretty. I'm addicted to them. I love Americana craft paint. I'm gonna be their new poster girl.
I have a paper towel.
They are nice to work with, aren't they?
Aren't they nice to work
Yeah.
with? You know what? I started working with them last year when I started really focusing on jelly plate printing. And I just thought like the bottles and just like squirting out a couple drops and using it with the brayer and you know, adding color everywhere. I just thought it was so nice. Hamina, do you want to share?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, hang on. Let me put you on here. And Hamina, I'd love for you to do some research. I'm going to give you an assignment right now. I'm gonna
Okay.
do some research on Asemic writing.
Okay. I
And
can do that.
and so maybe next week we can show some more artwork with Asemic writing because it's one of my favorite things.
Sounds good.
Okay, and I spelled it on the chat. Do you see it? It's ASEMIC.
Yeah, I see.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so for the writing, this is what I did.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, you did it in
Yeah.
all those pastel colors.
Yeah, and so I for the painting, I mixed light pink and light blue, so it gave me this like nice purple.
Oh, good. I love it.
So
Oh,
I
that's-
wanted to go for something colorful, so that's what I did.
I know, right? Especially on a nice rainy day like today, you really need some color in your life. I know, I hear you. That's awesome. I feel like that's what I was doing too. Like I'm dying for the sunshine.
Mm.
So it's like yellow, orange, and they also make this pretty warm, right?
Very pretty.
Okay, great. Miss Betty, do you have something to share, or did you just enjoy watching us today? You're good. You enjoyed watching. Oh wait, you got something. Bring it over. I see you. Yes.
Oh,
good.
love that.
Yes. Oh, good. You added the paint to the collage. All right. That's super.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to give you guys some suggestions and some homework. Are you ready? Okay. So for homework, remember everybody has more of these boards, right? So you could start another collage with some materials that you maybe made today, right? You could also, when these dry, You could cut some shapes out just organically, whatever comes to mind from the Asemic writing that we did today. And you can add another layer, right, to the collages. So, wait, right now, this is my collage, right? So, and now it's pretty much dry. I brayered it this morning. Wait, hang on. Bye, Naraya. Thank you so much for doing that with me today. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Okay. Okay, Naraya just left. She's going home. Kai, close my door, please. Close my door. So I haven't really committed to the orientation of this piece yet. So, you know, I can still I still have the flexibility to go vertical this way or vertical this way. I could also go horizontal. I still haven't decided, which I think is fine. But I think I'm gonna add some more elements to it when my Asemic writing and brayer pieces dry. So these are some of those pieces, and I might cut them up, right, and add them to another collage. So if everybody could make another collage this week with some of the work we made today, that would be wonderful. And then next week we're gonna start using the jelly plate. Okay, so next week we're gonna do 2 classes at least with jelly plate, right? So we're gonna make even more collage materials and papers using the newsprint and the jelly plate, okay? And we might go do some more Asemic writing. We could also maybe do some designs of things that you found around the house. So could be lace, could be money, could be things from the kitchen, right? So anything that you're finding around the house that sort of represent your life at home, we're going to use those in the art making next week, right? Okay. So I don't have anything else today. Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to talk about or share?
I want to show this. I did it on paper towel.
Oh, nice. I love the paper. Aren't the paper
Oh,
towels?
that's
great?
nice.
Oh, right.
Paper towels are awesome.
Paper towels are awesome. Oh my God, that is beautiful. That represents, like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but every time I think about a paper towel, I think about my kitchen and I think about being in my kitchen with my husband, and it brings back so many memories. And I'm always teasing him that he just like is like a paper towel monster. Like he just like pulls them, barely uses
Yeah,
it.
my husband's the same way.
This is like grows on trees. I'm like, yo.
Actually, it does. No, kidding.
Paper towels grow on trees. Okay. Yeah, I'm so sure. Another fun art supply, you guys, that we probably all have at home is masking tape. So if you have some masking tape, bring it out for next week because we're definitely going to use it for next week. I love the paper towels. Yeah, and if you want to try the toilet paper, I mean, that's definitely something we use at home. The other thing that's really good is I today brought in the coffee filters, but what else? If you don't drink coffee, you probably drink what?
Tea.
Yes, please start saving your tea bags.
Oh, I have tons of those.
Okay, well, don't do, if I give you a homework assignment, I don't want anybody to throw out a tea bag. So that tea bag paper is beautiful for collages. I mean, we could literally just cut the bags open, drop out all the herbs, and just flatten the tea bags and use that paper. It's beautiful. And again, it has the same like soft light brown color, or we can hand paint them. And even structurally, like they're so intricate, they remind me of skin. And they have so many references to sort of life, I think, like coffee and tea. We can actually even paint with coffee and tea. And if you want, I can even do a little demo on staining, you know, some letters or drawings or writings in coffee or tea. You can actually stain with red wine as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything they want to add for today? Oh, I did want to mention, and I think that there's an artist who's having a show right now whose whole content of his show is about home and the ideas of making art about our same topic. So I'm going to try to go to his lecture tomorrow, and I'll let you know what I find out. So it's not an unusual topic. A lot of artists make work that is about, you know, life at home. Okay. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I'll
Have
see
a
you
good
next week. Great class. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.